5 NBA moments that shook the world. Hey guys, welcome back to Slam Dunk Central. Today we'll talk about 5 NBA moments that shook the world. Let's head into it. Number 5. The 1998-1999 NBA season. The 1998-1999 NBA season was set to become the 53rd year of professional basketball. It didn't start until February 5, 1999, nearly 5 months after the usual regular start of the season. Due to a dispute between the players and owners, the season was delayed for months. And it appeared that the NBA would go through its first year without basketball in over 5 decades. It wouldn't be until a 6-year collective bargaining agreement was reached between the league and the players that the season could get back on track, and even then the 1998-1999 season was one of the strangest. The season was shortened to only 50 games. The Los Angeles Clippers tied the record for most losses to start a season with 17 and finished with the league worst 941 record. The New York Knicks became the second 8th seed to defeat a number 1 seed when they knocked off the Miami Heat in 5 games. The Knicks were considered an 8th seed despite being only 6 games behind the Heat in their division. The Knicks would also become the only 8th seed to make the NBA Finals when they met the San Antonio Spurs in the championship and eventually lost in 5 games. The Spurs set a milestone of their own when they became the first former ABA team to win a championship. Even though the season was shortened, the 1998-99 featured some of the most memorable moments in NBA history. Number 4. The Malice at the Palace. The Detroit Pistons and Indiana Pacers have always been rivals, not just because they're in the same division, but also for the fact that they are both extremely physical teams with large defensive mindsets. The tensions boiled over one fateful November 19, 2004 night when the two teams met at the Palace in Auburn Hills. With the game already well decided and the Pacers up 97-82 with 45 seconds, Ben Wallace and Ron Artest got into a shoving match. After a hard foul by Artest, players from both teams began to argue while Artest laid sprawled out on the announcer's table, attempting to stay out of the argument and calm his emotions. The brawl wouldn't have escalated if not for one asinine Pistons fan that decided throwing a beverage at Artest would be a good idea. It wasn't. Ron responded by running into the stands and going after the wrong fan and punching him in the face. Pistons fans intervened while Stephen Jackson escalated the violence even more by helping Artest fight the small amount of Detroit fans left. Pistons players eventually intervened by separating the fans and players until 2 Pistons fans decided to try and fight Artest and 6'11" Jermaine O'Neal on the court. They were disposed of and the Pacers were eventually led off the court by a chorus of boos and food thrown at them. Artest received the worst of suspensions at 86 games. Jackson received 30, O'Neal was given 15. Ben Wallace was handed out 6 games. Anthony Johnson was given 5, and Reggie Miller, Chauncey Billups, Derek Coleman, and Eldon Campbell were each given 1. A number of rules were put in place disallowing players from the bench to intervene in fights on the court or for players to go into the stands. Number 3. Michael Jordan retiring. Prior to the 1994 season, Jordan already had 3 consecutive championships under his belt, 2 Slam Dunk championships, 3 Finals MVP awards, 9 All-Star appearances to go with 1 All-Star Game MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year award, 3 MVPs, and a number of All-NBA first-team appearances. Jordan was living the dream as the best player in the NBA and challenging Wilt Chamberlain as the greatest player to ever live, until he decided to do the unthinkable and retire on October 6, 1993. He had claimed to lose a desire to play the game and that the murder of his father was a driving force in his decision. Michael did the unthinkable again by signing with a minor league baseball team. In his brief career with the Birmingham Barons, MJ had a .202 batting average with 3 home runs, 51 RBIs, 30 stolen bases, and 11 errors. Needless to say, the NBA suffered back then. The ratings significantly dropped as the Chicago Bulls couldn't make it to the NBA Finals without Jordan, as Houston would take advantage of Jordan's absence by winning back-to-back championships in his time away. When the team was 31-31 in the 1994-1995 season, Jordan decided that he had enough of staying away from basketball and came back to the Bulls in a triumphant fashion by leading the team to the Eastern Conference semifinals before losing in 6 games. The rest, well, we know what happened next. Number 2. Kobe Bryant accused of rape. By 2003, Kobe Bryant had already established himself as an elite NBA player. He had 3 championships to his name and a number of All-Star appearances, while being recognized as one of the heroes of Los Angeles. The city of LA and the NBA loved Kobe, and Kobe loved him right back. Until one night in the summer of 2003, when Bryant went to the Lodge and Spa at Cordillera Hotel in Eagle, Colorado, to help Kobe's knee prior to an upcoming surgery. It wouldn't be released until a few weeks later, but in the process of trying to repair his knee, Bryant was accused of committing the felony of rape against a hotel worker. The 19-year-old hotel employee, Caitlin Faber, had stated that Kobe allegedly raped her in his hotel room the night before the procedure and was pressing charges against the All-Star. Bryant would admit to having engaging in sexual relations with the employee during his first public interview with his wife by his side, but claimed that it was consensual. The trial would last a year before the charges were dropped after Faber refused to testify, but the damage was done, and Kobe's image has been tarnished forever. Back then, his image in the public eye had drastically changed as Bryant became public enemy number 1 to anyone who heard about the case at hand. For example, Bryant was murdered mercilessly targeted in Denver when he had games against the Nuggets and was taunted with boos and chants of rapist whenever he touched the ball. He also lost major endorsement deals with McDonald's and Nutella in the process. Number 1. Magic Johnson retiring. Magic Johnson has been recognized as arguably the greatest point guard to ever play the game. His height and unbelievable court recognition, coupled with his desire to win, elevated him to become one of the top 5 NBA players in NBA history and make the Los Angeles Lakers a storied franchise in the 1980s. When he was set to enter his 12th season in the league, it was announced during a physical that Magic was HIV positive. In a tearful conference on November 7, 1991, Magic made a public statement revealing to everyone that he was stricken with AIDS and was retiring. One of the more memorable moments of Magic's career came in 1992 All-Star Game. Even though he was retired, Johnson was voted by the fans to play and would go on to win MVP honors after looking like the Magic of old with a 25-point, 9 assists, and 5 rebound performance. The All-Star Game performance would allow him to play in the 1992 Olympic Games as well, where he would join the Dream Team en route to a gold medal. Because of his debilitating disease, Johnson has raised AIDS into the light of being a serious disease that could be caught by anyone if irresponsible. Magic is still living a normal life with AIDS, while funding research for a cure for the condition that has failed to cripple him for nearly 30 years. What do you think about these moments? Which was the most shocking one? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.